I'm James. I'm playing drums.
I'm Pat, and I'm on bass.
I'm Mark, and I'm the singer and guitarist, and we are Fuming Mouth, and we just put out a new album called Last Day of Sun on Nuclear Blast Records with some exclusive variants from Triple B Records.
Nice, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, as you say, mate, Fuming Mouth recently released your latest album, Last Day of Sun. So, I know it hasn't been that long, but how's the early reception been?
Good, for the most part, I'd say. Everyone has their own opinions, though.
Yeah, it seems like the live reception has been good. I feel like, I've seen people singing along some songs and, reacting to the music. That's been cool.
Oh. Tell us a bit more about the album from a musical point of view, guys, and what you're actually going for with it.
Just something, really heavy, really brutal, truly metal, and, beyond just death metal, into worlds of heavy metal, and beyond that into some more like melodic territory that you might hear, but ultimately really bringing it back to, big bands like Judas Priest with great guitar solos and making it more of a dynamic album than just, one low-tuned brutal death song after another.
You released the singles I'll Find You and The Silence Beyond Live. So just say if that's all anyone's heard of the band, would you say those two songs are a good sonic representation of the album?
No, not really. I think it's really hard for like one song to represent the album, especially with singles. And that's because this is a concept album. And with like a concept album, or it's a loose concept. So, it's this kind of area where it's hard to really represent the whole album as one when it is kind of a front to back thing. I think a song like Out of Time or Post Figurement or The Sign of Pain might even like represent the album better than I'll Find You or The Silence Beyond Life.
And this one's to you a bit more so, Mark, but the album centers around your battle with acute myeloid leukemia. So can you go into more detail as to how that sort of came into the album?
Well, the album was written before that. But, in 3 weeks, leading up to going into the studio, I got diagnosed with it. And it's one of those things where it just kind of became my whole life every day where I had to fight against it, And, I went from being able to work to having to go and be in the hospital all day long and, totally changing my life up. So all of that impacted the record. All of that impacted, a lot of the writing. There's only one song on the album that's truly, truly about it. And that's a song called Kill the Disease.
So would you say overall the album's got a message of hope or despair?
Oh, hope, 100%. The whole thing is like, there's no other way. It's about hope. The whole thing is very dreadful. It is very dark. It is very looming. But just like the album art, there's a monster in front of the sun. The reality is the sun is still there. It hasn't gone away. You just think it is because there's a problem in your way. And the whole point is it's kind of like a horror movie, like even Nightmare on Elm Street. When they start to not think about him, he loses his powers, and that's a similar thing. So it's all about once you have that hope, then you can combat that monster and overcome it, and realize that the things that you love in life are still there. I think sonically, that's represented in the song Post Figurement in this one guitar lead.
The album was recorded with Kurt Ballou of Converge at God City in Salem, mate. Like, that place has got a lot of history in so many ways. So how did recording there actually impact the final album?
I think recording there was just one of those. It was in October. It was Halloween season, so there's tons of people around. So it felt, it had themes from the album like claustrophobia, too many people, a cityscape, and also it's Halloween, so everyone was dressed up. So it almost had like a kind of a creature kind of vibe to it. And I think just Salem, Massachusetts, being the area of the witch trials, and I think that influenced it too.
You started Fuming Mouth back in 2013, guys. So what was the musical climate like back then that gave birth to the band, and where did you fit in initially?
Fuming Mouth didn't fit in anywhere initially. We were playing, you know, it didn't matter if it was hardcore shows, metal shows, punk shows. It really just like did not fit in. And, you know, the band was lucky enough that there were other bands around that also didn't fit in. And we were kind of like island of misfit toys. And we just focus on making good songs. And, you know, as time went on, the years went by, I think the songs got better, and I think it just actually started connecting with people more and more.
What were your early goals and your early vision for the band, and how have they changed in the 10 years since?
The only original vision was to put out a good demo of 4 good songs, like a good metal demo. That's really what I wanted to do at the age of 22. And I hadn't really done that, you know. I felt like I hadn't added to the canon of metal at all, even in my certain way, you know. And that's the beauty of hardcore too. It's like it teaches you to do things on your own, that you could be a part of this. And I took that ethos and I really applied it to metal, and that was it. That was the only goal, was to put out a 4-song demo, have it be really, really motor charged, one ripping solo in it. It had some clean parts, and beyond that, just riffs. You know, just riffs and riffs and riffs. And there was like no goal to be a big band. So it's funny, you flash forward 10 years and we're on Nuclear Blast. They're the biggest label in metal. And it's just, yeah, it's definitely it's been a journey, and it's been surreal since those early days.
Yeah, man. 10 years is a long time in music these days, mate. So what have you guys learned about yourselves and your music over that 10-year journey?
What do you guys think in the past 10 years?
For me personally, it's just going through the underground and meeting new people. You know, that's how I got hooked up with Mark and the guys, you know. It's all community, and you just kind of expand, you know. So over the last 10 years, I've just been expanding in that way, you know. Musically, I meet other people that change the way that I play and feel and think, and it's awesome, you know, progression.
Yeah, I would piggyback off that and say, like, if you really love a kind of music, you can study it and you can apply yourself to it. Try to teach yourself about it on your own, but a lot of like, you know, musical reality is really set in when you're with other people, whether that's like playing or writing together or doing something in like some sort of musical community. That's like really where the what am I trying to say here? That's really where like you find out what works and what doesn't.
The album's out now, guys. What's next? Have you got a bit of a tour plan for it?
Dude, touring on it. We're gonna play some shows on it. Gonna play some festivals. We just announced a pretty big one today that we're gonna be playing with Machine Head, and Motley Crue is playing as well, and Judas Priest. So just going on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Motley Crue last night. Actually, they're still going all right.
No way.
Yeah, they played in Brisbane. It was sort of, they went a lot better than what I thought they would, and what the reports were. They nailed it. Did really good.
Oh,
Nice.
that's too cool.
All right, before we go, guys, we started up 3 new Spotify playlists through Heavy to help our listeners get acquainted with bands a bit more. So using your own songs, give me a song for a playlist to get the party started, one to save your marriage, and one to potentially end your marriage.
Ooh, from our own songs?
Yeah.
One to get the party started, I think, would be Nothing to Bleed. What was the second question?
To save your marriage?
I'll Find You.
Find You.
Of course.
Easy.
It's a love song.
Cool. And one that could potentially end your marriage.
I'll Find You again. And the marriage. Maybe, I don't know. What do you
Leaving
think?
Euphoria.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Beautiful, guys. All right, well, thanks very much for your time. Last Day of Sun is out now. We had to listen to it before the interview. It's a cracking album, guys. Congratulations, and best of luck with the future.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Kris.
Cheers.
Enjoy your day.